Okay, here we go with the critiques for COMM 101. This one is, hang on, I've got to get the fantasy name for this or I will do it all wrong. This is Racer. All right, Racer, ironically, you spoke about the Indianapolis 500, and we are going to deal with that. It was an interesting speech and facts, but God, you put me to sleep 6 times from Sunday. Pick up the pace. Wow, boring. You've got to get energy in your speech. You can't just stand there and give me some words. Get excited about what you're talking about. Also, you made just absolutely the worst error you could ever make. I'm the farthest thing there is from a fan of the Indianapolis 500. However, the first winner of the first Indianapolis 500 wasn't Ray Huron. It was Ray Haroon. You got to know how to pronounce that if you're going to give a speech. Your credibility went right out the window when you did that. You got to start and finish your speech strong. The way you did your visuals was wrong. I understand you used some technology there, but I also then don't know whether you stopped and started the tape, and that is not a good thing. The speech screamed for sources. Once or twice you mentioned the Indianapolis Star, but you also talked about the track could hold the Coliseum, the Rose Bowl, Churchill Downs, the Vatican, etc., and you did not give a source for where you got that information. Exactly what I talk about all the time. Your sources were not properly handled. Your speech was way too slow. It also impacted your vocal variety. There was none, and you also did not come anywhere near communicating enthusiasm. And what's your credibility on this? You're going to hear a lot of that. I keep talking about it. Even if you only said, I've been an Indianapolis 500 fan all my life, you've established credibility. But when you get in there and you start talking about the Indianapolis 500 and you don't mention why it is you're giving that speech, then you have killed any credibility that you might have in the process. Okay, next up is Bumblebee. Bumblebee, good appearance and nice end to the speech on a smile, but it was a down kind of ending. Start clean after the camera has quit moving. Only brief, sporadic eye contact in your speech. You kept looking over. Well, I presume you had your speech written out. You practically read the speech. You have got to talk to me. Do not read the speech. Watch your hair flip. You were doing that fairly often when you weren't running your hand through your hair. There were no visuals used in the speech. As best I could tell, there was only one source cited. And you did a thing where you said, am I wrong? Well, you know what? When you're asking the audience a question, you don't look away from them. You look at them. Am I wrong? Look right at them. Make them respond that way. Don't adjust your hair while you're speaking. This was a good topic and a decent speech, but you read it. No visual aids. That's a killer in this speech. You've got to fix that. Okay, let's talk to Mommers. Mommers, your sincerity is very apparent in this speech. Hold the camera still. It's bouncing around. You need a tripod. Try to get the camera closer. You're competing with room noise. There was no visual. This is going to be a theme. No visual. It was required for the speech. Too many ahs and ums, and multiple times in your speech where it screamed for sources. And you were just way too married to your outline, but you did not help us very much at all. You did a very good job of establishing your credibility from the top. Next up is Shorty. Shorty, you spoke and did a nice job, good appearance. And I can't read my own writing here. Nice setup I have. Okay, establish your credibility. You didn't do that. You can't discuss. You can't discern colors on your chart. So establish why I should care about this topic when you're speaking to me. Maintain a pace and enthusiasm. Your ending was extremely confusing. Please go back and review that. And you had a great use of visuals, and so you did well in that respect. Your enthusiasm was up and down in the speech. You want to make sure that you take care of that. Your pauses were more like you lost your spot. You fumbled that in a few places. But overall, you did a pretty good job. Your main points were clear. Your sources were cited. And your ending was just pure strange. So you want to work on that a little bit. Next up is doubles. Good appearance except for the shorts. Stand still. Don't do this. Slow down a fair amount because you have an accent and it's difficult to understand what you're saying. Where are your speaker notes? You appear to be trying to memorize the speech and speak from it in that respect. Many aspects of your speech were hard to understand. Show the audience according to the class rules. You again used no visuals. You were in a long room. The camera was quite a distance away from you. In addition to your accent, there was an echo in the room, which made it even more difficult to understand what you're saying. It was not the correct camera shot, the one we keep telling you. See the one you have right now, an inch or two above the head, bust line. All right, come on, let's get with the program. You had you need the camera to get closer for the audio reasons. The microphone is on the camera. You did not cite any source in your speech that was required. You have some distracting mannerisms when you're moving like you do. No visuals. And overall, you did all right on some aspects of the thing. The correct number of sources cited. Your outline was written in full sentences and all of that. So that part worked fairly well. We're going to stop here and we'll come back with a part 2 in just a moment.